Best 30 Iconic Quotes Movies. It's a Wonderful Life, 1946. It's a Wonderful Life, 1946. Directed by Frank Capra, is a timeless cinematic masterpiece that continues to resonate with audiences. Set in the small town of Bedford Falls, the film tells the story of George Bailey, played by James Stewart, an altruistic man who has spent his life putting others before himself. Despite his dreams of traveling the world, George sacrifices his aspirations to manage the family's building and loan, ensuring his community isn't at the mercy of the greedy businessman. Mr. Potter, Lionel Barrymore. Overwhelmed by financial troubles and feeling like a failure, George contemplates ending his life on Christmas Eve. Enter Clarence Oddbody, Henry Travers, an angel in training, who shows George what the world would have been like had he never been born. Through this journey, George realizes the positive impact he's had on countless lives and regains his sense of purpose. The film's themes of selflessness, resilience, and the interconnectedness of humanity strike a universal chord. Iconic moments, such as George declaring his love for Mary, Donna Reed, or the joyful final scene where the town rallies to support him, capture the essence of hope and community. It's a Wonderful Life remains a celebration of the human spirit and the importance of every individual. Clarence, strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. When he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he? Clarence, you see, George, you've really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away? Man. On porch. Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death? George Bailey. You want me to kiss her, huh? Man on porch. Ah, youth is wasted on the wrong people. George Bailey. What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary. Mary, I'll take it. Then what? George Bailey. Well, then you can swallow it, and it'll all dissolve. See? And the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much? George Bailey. Just a minute. Just a minute. Now, hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap, penny ante-building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anyone else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was, why, in the 25 years since he and his brother, Uncle Billy, started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy? He didn't save enough money to send Harry away to college, let alone me. But he did help her. Few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter, and what's wrong with that? Why? Here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said, what did you say a minute ago? They had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home. Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them. Until they're so old and broken down that they. Do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, my father died a much richer man than you'll ever be. Clarence, your brother, Harry Bailey, broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9. George Bailey. That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport. Clarence. Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them, because you weren't there to save Harry. And quote, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, and quote, no man is a failure who has friends, and quote, remember, George, no man is a failure who has friends, and quote, strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives, and quote. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life, and quote. What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down, and quote. You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you, and quote. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids, and quote. George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die, and quote. You're worth more dead than alive, and quote. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap, penny ante building and loan, I'll never know. And quote. Dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way, and quote. Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death, and quote. Look, Daddy, teacher says, every time a bell rings an angel gets his wings, and quote. That a boy, Clarence, and quote. Hot dog. I'm going out exploring someday. You watch. And I'm gonna have a couple of harems, and maybe 3 or 4 wives. Wait and see, and quote. You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you, and quote. I wish I had $1 million. Hot dog, and quote. This is a very interesting situation, and quote. It's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia. Drafty old barn, and quote. You don't know what you're talking about. You just can't go running around throwing away lives, saving other people's lives, and, oh, I don't know what I'm saying, and quote. You see, George, you've really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away, and quote. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town, and quote. Here's to George Bailey, the richest man in town, and quote. You've got me. Who's got you, and quote. Asterisk and quote. This town needs this measly one.